My whole life I've been terrified of heights, roller coasters, Ferris wheels, rock climbing, anything where you're up high. I just couldn't do it. I would cry the entire time, just absolutely terrified. Last December I went on a trip with my school. It was kind of an amazing race type deal. We were put to different challenges where we would be stretched beyond what we thought we could do. And I got to a challenge that was rock climbing and going up a 50-foot rock. I was so scared of being on this rock, of falling, because of this fear that has haunted me my whole life. And I had this moment where I realized that I have lived my entire life believing in other people and loving other people and encouraging other people and believing all these great things and having incredible faith for other people. But I realized that I've never believed that for myself. And for me to keep doing that, it would be saying that the cross of Jesus wasn't enough for me, but it was good enough for everybody else. And I realized in that moment that that had to change. And the whole time I was going up the rock, I was looking up at this I Can bracelet that my friend had given me a few weeks prior to that. And I was reading what it says, and it says, strength to conquer anything. And I knew that this rock was nothing compared to the stuff that I had conquered before in my life. The whole time I was looking at it, I was like, I've heard I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me my entire life. And I know it, but I knew it in my head and I didn't know it in my heart. And it was in that moment that I truly began to grasp what it means to be able to do all things through Christ who gives us strength. And I truly began to believe it. And when I began to believe it, it was then that I started to listen to what God was saying over me and not what the enemy was saying over me. And I was able to make it to the top of the rock and conquer that fear. And without the Spirit of God that was speaking life and truth into me, I couldn't have overcome this fear, and I couldn't. The lie that I wasn't good enough and I was never going to be good enough was broken the moment that I made it to the top of the rock. This bracelet was just a reminder of that truth, that Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. To realize that there's nothing I can't do with the power of Christ in me is an absolutely overwhelming thought, because I had grown up my entire life knowing it in my mind, but never believing it in my heart. And to really believe that, I really got a glimpse of the love of God for me and what He believes of me and that He believes in me and that He's standing right there in heaven cheering me on, even when nobody else is, or even when I have people who are encouraging me. Like, I have a Father who is eternally loving and eternally believing in me.